Florida Governor Ron DeSantis signed into law a parental rights bill in education that prohibits instruction about sexuality and transgenderism to children in kindergarten through the third grade.
We will continue to recognize that in the state of Florida, parents have a fundamental role in the education, healthcare, and well-being of their children. We will not move from that. I don't care what corporate media outlets say. I don't care what Hollywood says. I don't care what big corporations say. Here I stand. I'm not backing down.
Amazing how the left has just gone crazy because a bill was signed into law that simply says you can't indoctrinate our children, at least not through the third grade. Well, joining me now to talk about this is the author and the chief sponsor of the bill, Florida State Representative Joe Harding. Joe, welcome back to the program.
Thanks for having me back on. It's an honor.
And by the way, congratulations on seeing this through. And I know you've been taking a lot of the fire, as so has the governor. But let me just ask you a question here real quick. What does this tell us about the left when they have just gone berserk about a bill that doesn't say you can't teach kids that transgenderism's not good, you can't teach them that gay is not out there, you can't teach them any of that stuff. You leave it for the parents.
Well, what it tells you is that right now, their intent is not even necessarily political wins. I mean, there's been polling that's shown that the majority of Democrat primary voters actually agree with this bill. So the way the left has doubled down is even more alarming because I believe they are willing to die on this hill, and they are this dug in on indoctrinating our children. And I really think the part about the bill that they are the most concerned about is we have a part of the bill that says that the school district, and this would apply at any age, cannot make a critical decision for the student that would have a physical or mental well-being impact on that student without the parents' involvement or the parents' consent. And I think that is really hard for them to sell to the public. So they're focusing on this K-3 part, but they want to be able to make decisions and be the parents for our children instead of us as the parents.
You're absolutely right.
For our children.
They want to cut the parents out.
That's right.
Because they want to be able to lead the children down this path. But I have to say that I'm sure you're encouraged by the support that you've received in this legislation, including the support of your governor. I mean, there's been an outpouring nationwide of parents saying, go get them. This is what we need.
We have seen not only a national support for our bill. I've had folks from Hawaii. You know, Hawaii was one of the last lockdown states, one of the worst states with lockdowns in our schools. We've had several parents from Hawaii reach out, even donate to my campaign. It's really unbelievable. Our governor, he is a lion, and on these conservative issues, we've never had a governor in any state that's this bold and this fearless. And so I cannot imagine serving the legislature in any other time, but with having Governor DeSantis as our governor, it's really an amazing honor to have that.
So, Representative Harding, let me ask you this question. You've been encouraged by the support that's come from across the country of parents saying, you know what, enough is enough. But anything in this process surprise you as you introduce this bill, which quite frankly is just a common sense bill? Anything surprise you in this process?
I am continued to be surprised how much the Democrat Party has doubled down in their opposition to being able to indoctrinate our children. I find that continues to shock me about how outspoken they are on that issue. I think the other thing that shocked me is how Disney, what their role in this has been. You know, Disney stayed quiet. They never lobbied against this bill. They never lobbied for the bill. They were completely quiet during the whole process. And all of a sudden, the woke mob, frankly, we found out who actually controls Disney, which is woke left mob that's based out of California, is in line more with California's culture than Florida's, and they are truly the ones that run Disney. And I have been shocked at how Disney has continued to double down, and that's why today I returned any contributions I had from Disney because frankly, if they're going to be public enemy number one for our parents, and in my opinion, that's who they are right now, then I don't want any part of it. And regardless of what that means in Florida politics, I don't need it.
Yeah, I mean, Disney's response can only be described as goofy. First, they were, not for promoting it, or for not against the law. Then they come out against it. Is this a tipping point, Joe, with parents, conservatives who have had enough of this? Is this a tipping point?
It has to be. It has to be, because I can tell you, just last night, I was speaking at an event in a very rural part of Florida, and a parent came up and told me about a situation that happened with their student in what I would say, a very red of Florida. And if we do not make this the last stand as parents, and the governor said this is the year of the parent in Florida, and if we do not continue that effort, I believe we have gone past the point of return, when the left has worked so hard to indoctrinate our kids, and then they make Disney, which is in every home in America and has influence almost in every home in America, part of their arm of influence. Then if we do not make this the last stand and do not make this a turning point, I believe it could be too late to recover from it.
Well, thank you, State Representative Joe Hardig, for doing your part. Your courage and boldness is inspiring to many, and thanks again for joining us today here on Washington Watch.
Thanks for having me on.